When upgrading electrical panels in a two-family house, there are several National Electrical Code, or NEC, requirements to consider. Firstly, NEC Section 225.5 subsection D states that for two-family dwellings, each unit shall have a separate electrical service. Secondly, NEC Sections 408.3 and 408.4 specify that main disconnect switches shall be located near the point of entrance of electrical services. Thirdly, NEC Section 408.15 subsection requires that subpanels have a main breaker or fuse not exceeding the ampere rating of the feeder supplying the subpanel. Fourthly, NEC Section 240.4 subsection D states that branch circuits for general purpose lighting and appliances shall be rated 15 or 20 amps. Fifthly, NEC Section 210.19 subsection A requires that branch circuits supplying receptacles in kitchens and dining rooms shall be rated at least 20 amps. Regarding panel sizing and amperage, for both units, you will require two separate electrical services with a disconnect switch for each. Based on the existing branch circuits, you will need panels with the following main breaker sizes. For house number 1, a 100 to 125 amp main breaker. For house number 2, a 100 to 125 amp main breaker. Both panels should have separate subpanels for additional circuits. Here are some proposed upgrades. Install a new 100 to 125 amp electrical service with disconnect switch next to house number 1. Move the existing 60 amp panel from house number 2, 30 feet away into the house. Install a new 100 to 125 amp electrical service with disconnect switch next to the new location for house number 2. Replace both existing 60 amp panels with new panels with appropriate main breaker sizes and subpanels. Now let's look at the circuit breakers. House number 1 subpanel 1 consists of two 20 amp circuits, two 30 amp circuits, and two 15 amp circuits. House number 1 subpanel 2 consists of six 20 amp circuits, two 30 amp circuits, and two 15 amp circuits. House number 2 subpanel consists of two 30 amp circuits, two 15 amp circuits, and two 20 amp circuits. It is recommended to consult with a qualified electrician to determine the exact panel sizes and circuit requirements based on the actual load calculations. When dealing with electrical systems, it is imperative to prioritize safety and adhere to all relevant codes and regulations. Understanding the NEC requirements is the first step in ensuring a safe and compliant installation. The National Electrical Code provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations covering various aspects from wiring methods to equipment specifications. Always refer to the latest edition of the NEC and consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector for specific requirements in your jurisdiction. The location of the main disconnect switches is crucial for safety and accessibility. Placing them near the point of entrance of electrical services allows for quick and easy power shutoff in case of emergencies or maintenance activities. The disconnect switch should be clearly labeled and readily accessible to authorized personnel. Subpanels play a vital role in distributing power to different areas or circuits within a building. Ensuring that the main breaker or fuse in a subpanel does not exceed the ampere rating of the feeder supplying it is essential for preventing overloads and potential hazards. The feeder should be properly sized to accommodate the anticipated load of the subpanel. Branch circuits are the individual circuits that supply power to lighting, appliances, and receptacles. Adhering to the specified ampere ratings for branch circuits is crucial for preventing overloads and ensuring the safe operation of electrical equipment. General purpose lighting and appliance circuits are typically rated at 15 or 20 amps, while circuits supplying receptacles in kitchens and dining rooms should be rated at least 20 amps to accommodate the higher demand of appliances commonly used in these areas. When sizing electrical panels, it is essential to consider the anticipated load of the circuits that will be connected to them. The main breaker size should be adequate to handle the total load without tripping frequently. It is recommended to perform load calculations to determine the appropriate panel size and main breaker rating. The proposed upgrades outlined in this guide provide a starting point for improving the electrical system in a two-family house. Installing new electrical services with disconnect switches ensures that each unit has its own independent power supply and disconnect means. Moving the existing panel from house number 2 to a new location within the house provides easier access for resetting breakers and performing maintenance. Replacing the old 60-amp panels with new panels with appropriate main breaker sizes and subpanels improves the overall capacity and functionality of the electrical system. The circuit breaker configurations provided for each subpanel are based on the existing branch circuits. However, it is essential to verify these configurations and adjust them as needed based on the actual load requirements of each circuit. Consider future expansion plans and allocate sufficient space and capacity in the panels and subpanels to accommodate potential additional circuits. Consulting with a qualified electrician is highly recommended to ensure that the electrical upgrades are performed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. An electrician can assess the existing electrical system, perform load calculations, recommend appropriate panel sizes and circuit configurations, and complete the installation work in a professional manner. It is crucial to obtain all necessary permits and inspections before commencing any electrical work. This helps ensure that the installation meets the required standards and is safe for occupants. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity. Turn off the power at the main disconnect switch before performing any electrical work. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as insulated gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the job. In addition to the specific code requirements and recommendations discussed in this guide, there are several other factors to consider when upgrading electrical panels in a two-family house. Firstly, the age and condition of the existing wiring should be assessed. If the wiring is old, damaged, or not up to current standards, it may need to be replaced. Secondly, the grounding system should be inspected to ensure that it is properly installed and functioning correctly. A properly grounded electrical system helps protect against electrical shock and reduces the risk of damage to electrical equipment. Thirdly, surge protection devices should be installed to protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage spikes and surges. Surge protection devices can be installed at the main panel and at individual outlets. Fourthly, arc fault circuit interrupters, or FSIs, should be installed in branch circuits to supply bedrooms and other areas where arc faults are more likely to occur. FSIs help prevent electrical fires by detecting and interrupting arc faults. Fifthly, ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, should be installed in branch circuits that supply bathrooms, kitchens, and other areas where there is a risk of electric shock due to contact with water. GFCIs help prevent electric shock by detecting and interrupting ground faults. Sixthly, the electrical panel should be properly labeled to identify the circuits that they serve. This makes it easier to troubleshoot electrical problems and perform maintenance. Seventhly, a copy of the electrical panel directory should be kept near the panels for easy reference. Eighthly, the electrical panels should be inspected periodically to ensure that they are in good condition and that there are no signs of damage or overheating. Ninthly, any damaged or worn electrical components should be replaced promptly. Tenthly, electrical work should only be performed by qualified and licensed electricians. Remember that electricity is dangerous and can cause serious injury or death if not handled properly. Always follow safe work practices and consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Upgrading electrical panels in a two-family house is a significant investment that can improve the safety, reliability, and functionality of the electrical system. By following the recommendations outlined in this guide and consulting with a qualified electrician, you can ensure that the upgrades are performed safely and in compliance with all applicable codes and regulations. Keep in mind that the specific requirements for electrical installations can vary depending on local codes and regulations. It is essential to consult with local authorities and obtain all necessary permits and inspections before commencing any electrical work.